JD wants to explain what's going on with his
I would
health.
love to know.
JD, can you explain what's going on? Hi.
These,
All right. JD, let's go. How are you feeling? JD, how are you feeling?
Well, yeah, I mean, but I'm always, you know what I mean? Like, I don't,
Yeah. What did you?
This is JD talking to the doctor.
Right.
I don't know. You know, I don't know how much I can talk about, really.
Why not? It's you.
I don't necessarily know. I know. I was just saying.
All right, here's the real JD.
No, it's a whole big thing.
All right, thanks. Hey, JD.
Yes.
Hi.
Hello.
What's going on with you? Because someone told me you're having like mental problems.
Are you mental?
Don't go mental on me, dude.
Huh?
Don't go mental on me.
You were the
No,
last
I'm trying
person
not
I
to.
expected.
I don't want to. I don't think I am. I had like what really got to me was I had like this. I felt like really anxious and nervous like the past sort of week. Like I couldn't get over something. I don't know what it was, but
You were something bothered you, but you don't even know what it was.
yeah, like I would if I thought about like riding on a train or being somewhere like away from my apartment for more than being out in the city, being that far out, like it just made my stomach sort of like nervous in the knots. And then I tried, I felt a little bit better on Friday morning, and I tried going in, and I had like this sort of mini panic attack or something. I rode 5 stops, and then I got right off and turned back around.
I'm wondering if this has something to do with he hangs around with Artie a lot. And, Artie's got all kind of issues.
See, this
and
is
by the way,
what I
Artie's
was
not even
thinking.
here this morning.
I saw that Artie wasn't here,
Yeah.
and when you first started telling me about JD having these problems, I'm like, is he running, is Artie influencing
Yeah.
him?
Are you
No,
in?
no.
What do you want to be like Artie?
No.
Yeah, you're little Artie now?
No, I don't.
JD, let me understand something. Answer some of my questions. Let me clarify this.
Okay.
All right. You originally you've been out now, 4 days?
Well, I did go in last night, and I left like around 4:30.
So you're claiming that you did a day?
Did you take the subway here?
Yes,
Okay.
and I took it Saturday too.
Okay. So you originally started staying home because you had a stomach virus?
No, I stayed home. Let's see, I go in Tuesday night and Wednesday night. So that'd be Wednesday and Thursday. I was sick more. I had like a cold or flu or whatever, and coughing and stuff. I would say Wednesday, Tuesday night, Wednesday, and then Wednesday night, Thursday, it was more of a nausea, nauseous, whatever feeling, and then that sort of. And then I tried going in Friday.
So do you think you're actually sick? I mean, it's not just a mental thing?
No, I think that sickness is gone now. Now it's panic.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure I'm okay physically. I'm just sort of, whenever I went to this doctor, I went to just like some sort of walk-in thing because I don't have a regular doctor because I'm not responsible.
You're kidding.
But I told him about what was going on, and he sort of said well, because I actually tried taking half a Xanax on let's say Friday.
Who
night.
told you to take a Xanax? The doctor?
That was my idea.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Where did you get Xanax?
I know.
Where'd you get it?
Just a friend. I'm not going to, say where I get stuff. I don't want to get people in trouble.
Right.
But I was just wondering, you didn't get it from a doctor. You're just taking other people's pills.
No. I took half a Xanax on Friday night.
Yes, to answer your question, Robin. He self-medicated.
No, I'm not even all that self-medicated, really. And then Saturday when I went to the doctor, and got the confirmation that I was physically okay, and I told him about my panic attack and stuff and how I get nervous sometimes and whatnot. He talked about Zoloft, and
is that what Jason's on?
I don't think
he's
so.
on-
Almost my whole crew is medicated.
Yeah, I was
I
going
know-
to say, but even,
lot of them are.
JD, your friends are giving you the wrong medication. You see?
But don't you think
This wasn't
Zoloft
a
is
friend.
a...
This was a doctor.
No.
a
Your
walk-in
doctor said Zoloft. Your friend gave you Xanax.
No, well, I thought Xanax myself because I hear, I've just heard people talking about Xanax and how it can calm you down or something.
So did it
You know,
calm
when
you
you-
down?
I felt better. I got like 5 hours of sleep, which is the most sleep I've gotten in the past week.
All right, let me understand what's going on with you because I got to straighten you out quick.
I'm trying to straighten myself out, but
You're not good at it.
trying.
I'm here.
At least.
Imagine him trying to straighten himself out.
What could make him so nervous?
I don't know. I think, anyone on the subway is nervous.
No.
Everyone- anything
He's sitting
and
at
everything
home
makes me nervous.
nervous. He's not encountering the subway.
No, there's
nervous.
something going on with the subway, and I'm starting to. I think I might be able to piece some
He
of this
got
together.
mugged.
He got mugged on the subway, but
That was years ago.
still, maybe he didn't get over. But Jason was.
Post-traumatic stress, Robin.
Jason was telling me he
2
rode.
years,
he,
10 years later.
He rode the subway with him with JD recently. Jason
Yeah.
did. And you know how like when you take the subway, like there's certain spots you like to stand, like I'll be at the front of the train or whatever.
Right.
So Jason goes, I'm going to go down there and I'm going to go to the front of the train. And he said that JD got like all nervous, like, oh no, I got to be in the middle. That's where the conductor is. I got to be near the conductor. And Jason said he just kept talking about being near the conductor.
The conductor's in the middle.
Yeah.
Middle car.
How does he see anything?
The conductor's
he
in the
can-
middle?
Well, he should be at the front. Maybe JD's got a right to be nervous.
No, he can see whenever he opens the doors. He looks out the window, but whenever the train's in motion, he can see within that car.
Yeah, but how does he see?
Oh, you mean,
How does he drive the train if he can't see the front?
He
of it?
well, he doesn't ride the train. He doesn't actually drive it. He just sort of watches, looks
he's
out.
not the engineer.
Yeah.
Oh, he's security. In other
But he
words,
knows
for you.
exactly where that guy is. So there's something bigger going
Are
on.
you nervous that you're going to get beaten up so that guy can help you, or are you nervous that just because the train's going to?
I'm always sort of I'm always sort of nervous about just anything because I'm just a nervous Nelly, to put it in a gay term. But this was just sort of like it wasn't going away. Like nothing. I was so nothing. It was over anxious, over nervous about just thinking about anything of being away from somewhere. I don't know. It was just odd.
See, this is the start of agoraphobia.
Yeah.
JD's getting afraid to
was
leave
another,
home.
That was another, fear of mine.
That's cool if you're Howard Hughes, but if you're JD, you got a big problem.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, being attached to that apartment, I don't think is a good idea.
You don't want to be agoraphobic with no money.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, listen, dude. I mean, you got to pull yourself together.
I'm
Oh,
trying,
great.
I'm not. I only.
Let me read you the riot act here. What's
I've
going
only
on?
I've only taken. I got prescribed a Zoloft, 50 milligrams. The guy told me to take half.
First of all, you want to go to my doctor. What kind of fucking doctor are you going
No,
to?
hold on.
You got insurance. Go to
He
a good
went
doctor.
to a walk-in clinic.
Ay.
Well, because I wanted to go.
I don't know anything about medicine, but isn't walk-in clinic mean like the worst doctor?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What kind of doctor was he?
There's a guy. It was, what he's.
Did he even have on a white jacket?
No, he
He's
had
probably
a-
got jeans and a work shirt on.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, your local
like that.
hippie doctor.
Yeah, was he like a young kid?
Yeah, he was a bit younger, and he tried to. He did try to talk a little cool, and it got a little weird. So I guess
I was a brain surgeon.
What do you mean he would try to talk a little cool?
I don't know. He was just like trying to seem young or whatever, like hanging out with his friends and stuff. Like
What?
He was talking about his friends being on Zoloft too, and I was like, oh, okay, all right.
You mean you're gonna go on a medication from a walk-in clinic doctor who saw you once? Dude, that doesn't sound right to me.
You'd be better off getting the pills from your friends.
You went in and just said you were anxious. And he said there was nothing wrong with you physically, it's just in your head, right?
Well, I was the one that sort of said, that I get there's something, it might all be in my head and stuff, and then he sort of just like was going. He said I shouldn't take Xanax because that's too addictive and stuff, and then he said something about Zoloft, how it wasn't as addictive, but then once I get home and I read all about Zoloft, that's all I hear about how addictive it is.
No, you don't need
Well,
that.
that's what a walk-in doctor will do.
Yeah.
He won't know the medication.
I like that the walk-in doctor wasn't sure. It's kind of addictive, but not really that
You don't
addictive.
think the walk-in doctor's really reading up on stuff.
And he goes, a lot of my friends are on it, so don't worry about it.
Right. Yeah.
JD, look, here's what you got to do. Today, you got to go see a real doctor.
Oh, I want to go to sleep. I want to go to bed. I want to get this like sort of. I want to eat or not eat, but actually eat. Whenever you take Zoloft, you don't have an appetite.
So what do you want? So wait. What do you want to do today? You want to go to sleep?
Yes, I'm going to try and sleep, and then I have to go to the grocery later because I have nothing in my house, and then I'm going to work tonight.
So these are your priorities.
Yeah.
Maybe your hours are weird.
Well, they are weird.
Yeah, well, maybe you need to maybe figure out a different work schedule. Want to sit down with me and figure it out? Because you know what he does? He gets up like at midnight and he's here at 1 in the morning, and then he's here till 10. And
I know he's not getting any REM sleep, and he's probably lost his mind at this point.
I tried to figure out some sort of schedule, but I don't like riding the train in the middle of the night, and then.
So don't do it. So come in like when the rest of us come in.
But then, something might not get, I'm not going to
JD,
stuff
watch
ahead of time.
Watch your TV shows at night. Figure out what at your apartment. Figure out what you want to pull when you get in here, and then do it when you get in.
Oh, all right. I'll figure something out. I'll try. Maybe I'll try and get in like around 4 when Scott gets in or something.
Yeah. You know what? Sit down with me. We're going to figure out a work schedule for you. Okay.
All right. Okay.
Because you're not doing it right.
Trust me, my biggest worry is being fired because of all this stuff, and that's because this is like, this is the most important thing to me, and that's why.
No kidding.
Well, this is going to be like a self-fulfilling prophecy if you can't get out of the house.
No, I know.
You don't want to be fired. He hasn't been able to show up to work. Of course you're going to be fired.
He's like my biggest fear. No, you can count on that.
Yeah. You can count on being fired if this keeps going on. No job, no insurance, no Zoloft, no nothing. Listen to me. You go see a real doctor.
I love all these guys who, they secretly are sicker than me.
Yeah.
And then they're always laughing at me.
I don't laugh at your office.
The only thing you should be worried about or having anxiety about is finding a chick to bring to my party.
Oh, that'll kill him. What kind of medication will he be on if he has to
What are you saying to that, JD?
I thought about that too. Trust me.
Yeah, he's anxious.
I got a lot of things that I'm thinking about.
That probably sent him over.
I'm thinking JD would be super articulate if he just start working during the day. Maybe he's just dopey from lack of sleep.
No, maybe there's a medication for articulation.
Yeah. Was your doctor he wasn't even a Jewish guy, was he?
I don't think so, no.
You hear King of All Blacks.
Yeah. Even King of All Blacks goes to a Jewish doctor.
I don't know what this guy was. I don't even remember his name, actually.
All right.
I have his card somewhere.
You know what? You're going to have to get him a psych consultation.
Yeah.
I'll be. I don't want to take any meds. I tried it, and I don't think I like it, and it's not for me, and it's.
No,
so
That's what you first said about booze. Now I hear you drink like a fish.
Yeah, this is a.
No, I don't drink like a fish. No one's seen me drinking. I haven't drinking forever.
Drinking. I haven't drankin' forever. I haven't. He graduated college. I haven't drankin' forever.
That's that full cell education.
Yeah. Did you just say I haven't drankin' forever?
Well, drank in forever, not drank.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, got it. Drankin'.
How about I haven't had a drink?
In a long time.
No, that too.
All right. So, JD, let me get this straight. You do have some physical ailment.
No.
Not anymore.
Okay, well, then you should have been at work.
I was at work. Well, my stomach hurts.
Yeah, well, that's because you.
But that's not it's not because of like a flu or a thing. It's from the Zoloft, and because you don't get an appetite, and then you get hungry, and so I've come home and
Sounds like a grand plan. Your plan there.
You should go on what Jason's on. He gets plenty hungry. He gets hungry enough for 10 people. Well, I don't know what's going on with you. I'm not a psychiatrist, but certainly I think you're in need of a real top-notch medical guy who could sit there with you and try to decipher what's going on.
Well, he probably needs, but you know what? There's nothing physically wrong with him. He caught a little cold, and now his anxiety is feeding into all of this.
Yeah.
His real problem is up here in the noggin.
Yeah. Noggin. which is a
You need a
technical
noggin doctor.
which is a technical term for your head. Well, you're right.
Yeah.
He got sick, then he got anxiety because he was sick, and now he's left with the anxiety, but the sickness is gone. And, I don't know what's going on, but
Well, I tried to get rid of the anxiety quick, and it's not.
no.
It didn't work. So
So are you going to have to retire to take care of your health?
It sounds
No,
weird,
no.
it sounds weird, like the doctor just all of a sudden saw you for 5 minutes and then wants to put you on medication. That's a pretty serious decision to go on medication.
That is exactly why all these people
Yeah.
are on this medication. Most of them aren't getting it from psychiatrists.
Right.
They're getting it from regular doctors.
Have you been able to masturbate?
I haven't even really tried. That was another thing. I was just like, I haven't really tried actually.
Did you go on the internet and talk to some girls?
No, not really. I mainly
Wow.
been
Wow.
laying down.
Yeah, pretty bad shape.
So even your social life has been impacted.
Maybe it backed up.
Like, lack thereof.
Yeah, his social life, his whole masturbation thing is like, he's not even getting his rocks
His
off.
whole outreach to people was
Yeah.
the internet.
I know, like picking up like those girls for a couple of dollars who,
Yeah.
will jerk off in front of you.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Is the whole Ronnie thing getting you stressed out because you had to cancel Ronnie's show and then bring it back? And
No, I don't think so.
right.
That was I almost didn't go in Tuesday because I had the cold or whatever, but I came in because I knew the whole Ronnie thing was going on.
Right.
Jesus, Jace. Oh, JD, you're
I
sounding
came
terrible.
In, and then I came in then.
All right, describe to me what
I'm-
happens. You start getting ready for work, right? Let me work with you here a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. First, you got sick. I understand that,
Yes.
and you started getting better, but
But some things have been going on because he says he hasn't had a good night's sleep in a long time.
well, because he has a ridiculous schedule. You should see what this kid does. He gets on the train. What time do you get on the train? 1 a.m?
I try and get on the train by around 11, a little after 11, so I can get there around 12. Before
So when are you
12.
sleeping anyway? You get there. So you get to midnight. You get in here and you're watching TV all night.
Well, I try and get to sleep like around 3, and then wake up around 9:30.
4, 5, 6, 7,
That's like 6
10
or
o'clock.
7
That's
hours.
that's not all. That's the worst schedule I ever heard. There's got to be a better way to do your job.
You're almost like the taxi driver.
Yeah,
Gee, thanks.
I mean that's crazy.
I'm just trying to,
No, I know you're trying to, and you do a great job, and I'm worried about you. So
I'm trying. Well, I appreciate it. I don't. That's another. I don't want people to worry about me.
well,
Did
I'm
you
worried.
know at all that he was
No.
headed this way?
No,
This
I-
is a complete surprise?
He was my rock. He was the one guy who wasn't mental.
Crazy. You didn't
Yeah.
have to worry about JD.
So JD was like one of these guys that just kind of had it all together.
Yeah, right.
So I mean, I never thought you were mental.
Look at you.
Well, I didn't necessarily. I didn't really think I was all that. Well, I guess I knew I was sort of mental, but not like I don't think I'm going anywhere near like KC mental or anything anytime soon.
Did you start
So-
reading the Bible?
No,
Are you cutting yourself?
no, and I'm not.
Yeah, do we
I'm
have to
not
check
walking-
your arms?
No, I'm not, and I'm not walking behind people.
So what's the
thinking,
crazy-
Like to put an axe in them.
So what's the craziest thing you're doing?
Craziest thing I'm doing is not being at work because my stomach is fucking not feeling great, and so that's.
Is it like a knot, or is it like a nauseous, or is it like an
So you're
ache?
nervous?
It's because of the Zoloft, you don't get an appetite, so you don't eat.
Yeah, but before the Zoloft, you were feeling something. What was going on there?
Well, yeah, that was nausea. That was with the over anxious. It was like just a big knot and tight and like sort of almost burning almost or whatever. I don't know.
Like an ulcer.
That's anxiety.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
and it wasn't like going away, and that's what freaked me out. And I wanted to do something quick so I could go to work and stuff and do whatever. And
Makes sense that JD's fucked up, though, you know?
Well, when you sit around and think about it, well, all the indications for being fucked up are there.
Right.
Not being able to talk.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's complete. like now it doesn't surprise me that JD's
Yeah,
fucked up.
yeah.
And I know he had a rough childhood. So.
I would always say, even at a
wasn't that
party.
rough. Stop it.
No, come on, man.
Even
My
at
parents are fine. Stop.
Okay.
Maybe he's pregnant.
Even at a party, JD doesn't talk to anybody.
I know.
You know, I mean, it's just terrible.
He's like, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I don't
whatever.
know. What am I going to say to him?
I try to get to work. Well, whatever. Whatever.
It's like,
He goes, I try to get to work and do whatever. It's your work.
What's the craziest thing you're doing? I don't know.
Imagine the trip to the doctor when he's explaining to the doctor, young man, what's going on. Like I'm nauseous and stuff, but I don't know. Whatever.
It was like a nauseous or
Knot.
a nuisance. I don't know.
Like a knot.
But it was like a knot and it's burning.
Then you got to
and
be
it wasn't
sitting
going
here
away.
wondering why Artie's late. Like, what's going on there?
We should just lock these doors.
I know.
Everybody here is crazy.
But he's nuts.
What do you think's really going on with JD?
I don't know. Robin says that it's, I think it has to do with when he was mugged on the train. Robin says it's been a long time, but you can sort of harbor some of those feelings and they sort of build, even if it's a period of years. And, we joke about what happened to him, but, like, he got the shit beat out of him. Like, he got punched in the face because he was on the train in the middle of the night. They took his iPod, and I think that, if you've never been punched in the face before, it's one of those things you remember. So I think that might be part of it. I think he might be having some anxiety.
Now, him being sick, does this have anything to do with that, you think? Because he was sick at first.
No, I
and then
think
he got
I think
anxiety.
part of it too is that I think he got sick, and then I think the sickness made him start to have anxiety when he was on the train as well, which I think he was having already because he's like, what if I get sick on the train? What will I do? And then he got better, but was still having anxiety on the train. I don't know. I'm just guessing. He's never discussed it with me or anything.
Do you think medication is the way for JD?
It might be. I mean, if he's having anxiety, that's what they make anti-anxiety pills for.
Do you think his self-diagnosis was correct? He was taking like pills.
Well, no, he was self-medicating. He borrowed a Xanax from somebody. That's, I get it. You take a Xanax. It's just, a Xanax is just, makes you feel good. If you'd have two glasses of scotch, you get the same feeling. It just relaxes you. And so he did that, and then he went to a doctor, and they gave him the Zoloft, which, John Hiner was saying Zoloft seems like a big, it seems like a big hammer for a small job, but we'll see what happens.
Who gives a fuck about JD? He doesn't care about me. Why should I give a fuck about him?
You're still bitter?
No, I'm not bitter. I don't wish bad things on anybody, really, except a few people
No,
around
I didn't
here.
say that. I'm just saying, what do you think's going on with him?
What?
He was sick.
He's not sleeping.
And now it's anxiety.
Yeah, well, he's not sleeping. When you don't sleep, you fucking anxiety gets really bad.
So it's finally
I
caught up with
I
him?
know the feeling well because I haven't been sleeping too well lately. So, yeah,
So what is it, like he cracked?
pretty much. He had a little bit of a breakdown.
JD has a lot of anxiety issues. They aren't new, and they've apparently been manifesting themselves for a long time, and it's starting to cripple him. So I feel very bad for him.
What do you think exactly is causing this? They said like his hours are crazy, maybe the past experience on the subway.
Look, the hours don't help. He works crazy hours, and yeah, he was punched, mugged, robbed on a subway about 5 years ago, which is scary as hell. But I think a lot. I think this stuff has been inside him for a long time. I mean, anyone who knows JD, has heard him on the air, or who knows him personally, knows that he's full of anxiety. He can't even get his words out straight because he doubts himself halfway through a sentence and cuts himself off and changes his mind. He's a mess, and it probably stems from a lot of things in his life, not just anything recently. And for whatever reason, whatever the trigger is, it seems to be manifesting inside of him and coming out. Probably the fact that he's almost 30 years old and still lives like a 12-year-old. My guess is he's getting a little bit nervous with the light at the end of the tunnel over here at Sirius. Maybe he's getting nervous about his future. So.
Do you think medication's the answer for him?
Listen, I'm not a doctor. Medication is the answer for me right now. I kind of was in the same boat JD was, in the sense that mine was more depression with anxiety, but what got me to go on the drugs the first time was this job. I was afraid I was going to lose this job because I couldn't get my shit together. And so that's why I started going on it, and it saved my life. And I hope JD is helped. Whether it's Zoloft or some other drug that doesn't give him an upset stomach and make him crazy. Whatever JD needs, I hope he could be helped. I'm a big proponent of the pills. I don't think they'll cure me, but they certainly make me able to come to work and instill me with confidence, as people here like to say. So I act like a big asshole to everybody. But hey, it's a trade-off. I'd rather act like an asshole to everyone and still have this job than be a depressed mess inside my house and people go, oh, that Jason kid, he was kind of nice.
I don't know, he's all fucked up, you know, young kid riding the subways, getting mugged by a bunch of big, nasty-looking thieves. Who would it...
Isn't there an adjective you want to add to that, it sounds like?
Bunch of big, scary, nasty-looking thieves. I mean, I wouldn't sleep at night. I would have the shivers. Riding those fucking subways, it's like being in Vietnam, except there's no soldiers. It's all fucking guerrillas and shit. You know, just going at you, prodding at you, punching you around, smacking you. Poor fucking guy. He's all messed up. He's suffering from shock. The system's got to change. Now look at him. He can't watch his TiVo. He can't go on Facebook and email married chicks, and you know he can't do his dabba raps and everything else. He's all fucked up.
I don't know. I think it's just like, you know, I don't know what the root cause is. It's
Well, they seem to think it's like his schedule.
that might well the lack of not sleep. Whenever you sleep, if you're not getting enough sleep, that definitely makes you mental. So that could be part of it, but I don't know. It's interesting, he feels nervous on the subway, but he feels so nervous away from home, even more so, because he'll take the subway to get back home. So I don't know. I'm going to go give him a hug when I see him.
I feel for him, I really do. I think he's not getting a lot of sleep. He's a little bit sick, but this paranoia that's going on in his head, he's really, really paranoid lately, and I can understand getting mugged on the subway, you know, being a little afraid, also the hours that he goes, but that happened a long time ago, so I don't know what's there, you know, maybe, I don't know, his fantasy football team hasn't been doing too well, or I don't know, I just hope he's all right. And I said I'll take him to my doctor if he wants to go, but who knows if he'll take me up on that.
Now, he was kind of saying his hours are crazy, that might have something to do with it. What do you think triggered it? Because, you know, he was sick at first, and then he got, you know, anxiety.
I think he was legitimately sick, and then he wasn't 100% better, but I think he was sick but didn't know what was wrong with him, and when he was looking to have somebody diagnose him, he didn't know where to go because he doesn't have a doctor or whatever else. And so, you know, his buddy gives him a Xanax, and then he's taking Zoloft, and I don't know what he's thinking, you know, medication-wise. But JD's got to find out what's wrong with him first and then fix the problem. But we all know that's a major leap.
JD is a fucked up guy. I don't know what's going on with him. As a kid, shouldn't have these issues. Anxiety, and I don't know what the fuck's going on. But I tell you what, he needs to get laid. That helps everything. That's my answer.
Now, he was saying, like, his hours are really crazy here. Do you think that might be causing it?
Well, the hours are a little screwy, but, you know, the guy doesn't sleep. He, you know, who knows? He gets up at 5 in the morning and... He gets up at, like, 10 at night, and he comes to work, and then he goes home at, like, noon.
Now, he said he was going to maybe try to have your hours. Do you think that would help him?
No. They're just as screwy as anybody else's hours around here. But not according to what Howard said, because if he's got to watch the shows at night, when's he going to sleep? You know, if you got to stay up and watch them, that's stupid. You got to be able to sleep from like 8 p.m. to like 3 in the morning to have my hours. So he can't sleep during those hours, so that'll really get him fucked up. I think he's better off staying and doing what he's been doing.
He's probably a homo or something. He doesn't want to come out of the closet at this point. He clearly, you know, has some issue with girls. He doesn't like them. He spends no time with them. So it's just difficult for him to, maybe he's getting one of those high-pitched mic tattoos where the day he plans to come out, and he'll come in here and make a big, you know, announcement that none of us can understand because he mumbles everything.
Are you worried?
About him being gay? Yeah, Christ, that'd be awful. I can't think of anything worse.
So, you know, Richard, who barely understands anything about modern culture because he grew up on a farm.
Yeah.
He's
they don't
like,
see doctors and dentists.
No. Richard came to New York and goes, dentist? My dad says not to trust them.
Well, Howard, he came to me and he goes, I got this thing. I'm going to go see my doctor, but I can't get an appointment. I go, well, why don't you go see a podiatrist? And he looked at me like I was crazy. I go, you know, a foot doctor. I go, you have foot problems. Why don't you go to a specialist? And he's like, that's a great idea.
It's like
Eureka!
It's like, you know, when early man saw the wheel?
Right,
You're
or fire.
You're like, like Richard's like, Like you just introduced him to fire. Like
the greatest thing ever.
You mean there's a doctor that will look at your feet? Like, what? I don't understand. So Gary sends Richard over to the podiatrist, and the podiatrist says to him, "Look, you got to stop drinking for the weekend."
Just for the weekend?
Well,
He knew it wasn't possible for him not to drink forever.
This weekend, don't drink.
Yeah.
So Richard's walking around now. He's like, I did what the doctor said, and not drinking. There's no fun.
Right.
That's not fun. There's no fun.
Boring. He goes,
it's boring.
Fucking boring.
He goes, the weekend was so boring without drinking. And I'm like, oh my God, does this guy have a problem?
Well, there was an Onion headline once where a guy who was an alcoholic says, alcoholic who's been on the wagon for a year says, today will be just another boring day.
You're right. That's funny. So the weekend was boring?
Very boring.
Do you have any interests or anything?
Well, yeah, no, I still did stuff. I played guitar, wrote some music, just did things, but drinking just makes everything so much better.
Yeah.
Life isn't good enough. He has to make it better.
So you didn't have any drinks?
None at all.
But your girlfriend drank in front of you?
At brunch, yeah, it was tough.
Does she love you or does she have a problem?
No, it was fun. She had like one or two mimosas, but just...
She doesn't have gout. Why should she have to stop
But,
drinking?
sometimes you don't... he's going through a tough time. You say, hey, maybe for the weekend I won't drink.
Look, if I had to have brunch with Richard, I'd be drinking.
Right.
Well, that's you, Robin. But no, I would never...
It's her, too.
I would never expect her not to.
Yeah, that's right. So it was difficult for you to watch her sit and drink.
It wasn't difficult. It was just like, wow, I wish I could have one of those.
So
because while she had 2 mimosas, he would have had 2 bottles of mimosas.
If my feet were doing what your feet are doing, I'd never drink again. I bet they're drinking over. Drinking over.
Well, it was food that caused it, too.
It's the beer, too. He's
Rich food
ignoring
out.
that.
Hey, Richard, did she tell you things not to eat? Because I heard you just had a giant bowl of chili for breakfast.
Yeah, I did. But it's Lisa made the chili. It's healthy.
How do you know?
that?
She said.
I made it with very lean ground beef, and there's nothing else in it, just vegetables.
Is it organic?
No.
Yeah, so.
Why didn't you just
needs
eat
all the healthiest stuff?
Why didn't you just eat like a plain something? What is it with you?
I usually get an egg white, but Lisa's a great cook.
Aren't you afraid of I'd be in fear.
I would be so afraid that anything might blow up my foot that I'd be adding food back in very simply, one thing at a time.
That's how I would do it.
To make sure it wasn't going to happen.
Well, I have been careful. I've been trying to eat a little. I had a turkey burger for brunch yesterday.
Yeah.
So let's give you a medal.
Yeah. It's baby steps,
baby steps for baby feet.
Yeah.
So
how
now
big was that turkey burger? Probably half a pound.
It was covered in mayo.
How
too.
soon can you go back to drinking?
I'm going to find out from the foot doctor, but hopefully very soon.
So
but I don't, I've been good too. I don't drink during the week either. So I'll at least wait till the weekend.
Now, what if the foot doctor says to you, look, Richard, I suggest you do not drink for the next year?
Howard?
And then I'll tell her I think we have to amputate the foot.
Howard? Yeah. Every website that I go on, and Richard, listen closely, every website that I go on that deals with gout, the first thing they mention is excessive consumption of alcohol as like the #1 factor.
Yeah, not food.
And what is excessive by their definition?
Richard. They have Richard's picture next to that.
They always say, how they say if you have more than 2 drinks, it's excessive.
But dude, you go on trains and suck down cases of champagne.
Yeah, that's true.
I know, and I'm the first to admit I do that. It's fun. Drinking is fun.
Didn't you drink out a restaurant one night?
But can't you just
an
have
airplane? I did one time.
Can't you just have 2 drinks? It always you have to be obliterated.
Once in a while, I'll have 2 drinks. Yeah, if it's during the week or something.
Howard, remember that time we talked to you about your mimosas at that brunch? How much do you drink?
Oh, I can drink. I could probably drink 100 mimosas.
Yeah, see?
Right. 100.
And
but
that wouldn't be enough.
They're in little bitty glasses, though.
Yeah.
And then he said he started getting them to pour them into big glasses because they were having to refill the champagne flute too often.
They'd have to come every other minute with those little champagne glasses, so they started putting them in beer mugs for them.
Right. Mimosas in a beer mug.
Yeah.
Why don't they just bring over a trough?
Oh, sometimes they'd bring a pitcher over, too.
But I'm talking about severe drinking. I'm talking about like in your lifetime, you've been wheeled off a plane in a wheelchair because you've been incapable of walking.
But that was to going to Bubba's wedding. That was a fun
Right.
event. I was excited.
And so if it was a fun event, maybe you could have lightened up on the drinking. In other words, you were about to have fun. We were going to Bubba's wedding to drink.
I just started my fun a little earlier than everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I'm sorry. You have fun when you
and also
drink.
I have fun, but I have 2 drinks and I have fun.
No, you talk about getting bombed on the weekends.
2 drinks.
And 2 drinks will do that to him because he hasn't built up such a tolerance.
I was hungover this weekend. I mean, I had I might have had like 3 or 4 glasses of wine Saturday night because we were at a party.
And you got drunk at your size. You were able to get buzzed off.
I was buzzed off too. I really shouldn't have.
What are you talking about? His size?
He's a tall guy.
No, but I weigh 100 pounds. I'm like Ichabod Crane.
Oh, it doesn't go by height?
Yeah. I mean, my feet ain't blowing up, that's for sure.
But he's also on medication for high blood pressure and cholesterol.
You are?
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
Oh, I
At
didn't
your
know
age?
that.
Yeah.
How old are you?
35.
Good Lord. Aren't you do you want to live or like are you just like, I
No,
don't care?
I want to. That's why I'm on the. If I didn't want to live, I'd stop taking my medication.
How
The
about just
medication is going to kill your liver.
the medication could be stopped if you just ate well and drank and didn't drink so much.
Not cholesterol's usually
no,
a
cholesterol
family
can be
thing.
fought. Cholesterol can be lowered naturally.
That is such a myth. It's not true, Richard.
But it's my cholesterol's good now. They're weaning me off the medication. The
It'll
cholesterol.
go right back up because you're not eating well.
I'm eating pretty well. But I mean, besides the chili this morning and stuff.
It's just worthless to talk to.
True or false? You tip flight attendants to keep bringing you booze.
Yeah.
That's true, right?
Yeah.
No. How much you give them?
Usually $5 to start
That's
out.
all it takes.
And what do you say? Like,
Well, they
in other words,
don't. They try to refuse tips. They're not supposed to take it usually, but I'm like, no, take it, take it.
You give them $5, and that ensures what? That they'll constantly keep the alcohol. Like in other words, you never have to wait for a drink.
Well, not that. It just makes them feel better about serving me so much alcohol. I think.
Right.
They're like, oh, this guy's nice. We'll give him a bunch of booze.
Right. And then when they have to wheel you off in a wheelchair, do they get upset with themselves? Do you think?
Well, they don't wheel me off. You know, whoever I'm flying with wheels me off.
But they got to call for a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But we're usually I've never been wheeled off of the plane. I'm usually, walk off the plane and then get wheeled. Yeah.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can't wait till they just throw them on a luggage cart.
He packed an entire suitcase with champagne and orange juice for a long train ride.
I know.
You know.
That's what you call a person who has a problem.
Richard, so congratulations, man. You made it through the weekend without drinking any alcohol.
I did.
How do you feel?
I feel great, but it's boring as hell. I love drinking, and this just proves that for me, drinking makes everything fun.
So how long is this going to last?
Oh, hopefully not more than another day or so. I'm ready for a drink. It's the holidays, man. Come on. You can't watch Rudolph and Frosty without a drink.
Now, along with not drinking, you're supposed to be eating a little better.
Yeah, well, that I do try to do. Like yesterday for brunch, I had a turkey burger with a salad.
But for breakfast this morning, you had chili.
Yeah, but it's Lisa G's healthy chili. So
You sure it's healthy?
She said it is. I mean, and she eats it, and look at how thin she is. So I trust Lisa. If Jason brought in chili, I wouldn't eat it because I wouldn't think that it's very healthy. But Lisa brought it in, so I trust her. And for lunch, Sal and I every day we go to Hale and Hardy. We either go to Hale and Hardy or we split a foot-long sub from Subway. So I'm very mindful of what I eat, and then at night I eat a lean pocket, and that's it. And I never eat after 5 o'clock, so I'm doing pretty good. And I've been eating like that for a long time. It's just on the weekend and on Thanksgiving I went crazy, so I need to be a little careful on the Christmas weekend.
Yeah, Christmas is coming up pretty soon, and there's going to be a bunch of holiday parties.
Yeah, and I'll just have to watch what I eat.
You're going to control yourself during those
Well, the
parties?
control the eating, the drinking, I'll probably still go nuts. But, at least now I have a heat pad for my foot, and I know to drink a lot of cherry juice and different, juices to kind of keep the blood flowing through the toe.
And what happens if the gout comes back for Christmas?
Well, I'll go see the foot doctor again and get, more medication or put the heat pad on it. But if even a tinge of it comes back, I'll just stop eating and drinking. but I'm just, hoping for the best. I'm sorry. I love to drink. I'll be the first to admit it. I'm not going to say that I don't love it. I freaking love it. It's a blast. I have a lot of 99% of my good memories are from drinking. The fun I had while drinking and hanging with friends. And so, there's not a better